Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today, Navigating LA County and Metro Contracting Opportunities with Supervisor Hilda Solis. We're very excited to share some useful information with you all today, and we hope to inspire you. We've got some excellent presenters, and our intention is to support you in your pursuit of public contracts with LA County and Metro. So I will just click over to the agenda slide here. This workshop is part of the CDAP, which is short for the Contractor Development and Bonding Program. And we're, of course, looking forward to sharing about this regionally sponsored program and its many useful no-cost tools and offerings. We're also excited to welcome some wonderful representatives from LA County DEO, Public Works, ISD, and Metro's Diversity and Economic Opportunity Department to share about upcoming opportunities, certifications, the support that they have to offer, and the best ways to effectively pursue the abundance of opportunities that LA County and Metro have to offer. So, as we move through the workshop, if you have any questions, please feel free to use the Zoom Q&A feature. We have a dedicated CDAP account manager managing that chat, and so he'll be able to answer those questions as we go along. And then if you have questions for the representatives that present today, please hold on to those, and we'll have some time at the very end of the workshop to ask and answer those questions. So first, before we get into the presentations, we would like to share with you a welcome message, a recorded welcome from distinguished Supervisor Hilda Solis. Supervisor Solis, as you may know, has an incredible resume, having served as the U.S. Secretary of Labor, in addition to many, many years of service as a California state representative and senator. And most importantly, she is truly a champion of small and diverse contractors, small business, and workers, really. So suffice to say, it is an honor for us to host today's workshop in partnership with Hilda Solis, Supervisor Solis, and her team. And she could not be here today, but she sent a pre-recorded message to kick things off.
Hello, I'm Hilda Solis, Los Angeles County Chair Pro Tem and Supervisor for the First District. I wanted to take a moment to personally connect. Hello, I'm Hilda Solis, Los Angeles County Chair Pro Tem and Supervisor for the First District. I wanted to take a moment to personally connect with you, the dedicated contractors from our district. As you know, we're constantly working to build a stronger, more inclusive economy here in Los Angeles County. And one of the ways we're doing that is through the Los Angeles Regional Contractor Development and Bonding Program, also known as CDABP. This program was designed with one goal in mind: to support small and diverse contractors like yourselves by providing the resources, tools, and opportunities necessary to thrive in a competitive world of public contracting. Through the CDABP program, you have access to bonding assistance, education and training, one-on-one consulting, bidding support, technical assistance, and partnership referrals. These are all critical components to help you not only survive, but truly excel in the public contracting space. Since its creation, CDABP has already made a significant impact on contractors we've worked with. It's helping small businesses like yours navigate the complexities of government contracts, ensuring that you have the capacity and knowledge to compete and win. But we're not stopping here. We're committed to continuing to grow and expand the program to better meet your needs. I encourage each of you to take full advantage of the support and resources available through CDABP. Whether you're just starting out or looking to expand, this program is here to help you succeed. And I want to thank you for your continued commitment to our communities and for the hard work you do every single day. I'm excited to continue working with all of you, and I look forward to seeing what we can accomplish together this year. Thank you.
Wonderful. Supervisor Solis is always so inspiring with her commitment to really diverse contractor success. So that is a perfect segue. Actually, I would like to turn it over to Kelly Lobianco, the director of the Department of Economic Opportunity, where this program resides, but I'm not sure if she was able to join us. So I'll just give a moment. I see that Enrique's joined a couple times.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, so okay. I'm gonna turn my camera on and sorry and apologies, Kelly couldn't be here today. My name is Felipe Moscoso, if that's okay, if I could do the introduction for DEO. Give me 1 second here. I'm having a little issue
Yes,
with
no worries. Felipe, thank you for joining us.
Great, and thank you for having us here. Just quickly, the Department of Economic Opportunities has a multifaceted approach to supporting small businesses and entrepreneurs in the county, and represents a significant commitment to fostering economic growth, equity, resilience across diverse communities. And through initiatives like the Economic Mobility Initiative, Equity in County Contracting, Apex Accelerator, and the new sidewalk vending ordinance, we as the DEO and the county are looking to address systematic barriers and creating pathways for success for underrepresented groups and emerging entrepreneurs. These programs collectively aim to transform the local economic landscape by providing tailored education and resources for business growth, expanding access to government and private sector contracting opportunities, offering technical assistance and capacity building for various business models, implementing supportive regulations for informal sector entrepreneurs, improving capital access in historically disadvantaged communities. And by integrating these efforts, the county is not only supporting individual businesses, but also building a more inclusive, dynamic, and sustainable economic ecosystem. Sorry, and these comprehensive strategies demonstrate the county's commitment to leveraging local entrepreneurship as a driver of community development, job creation, and long-term economic prosperity. And soon you'll hear from Enrique, who's going to give you a presentation as well on several of our programs. Thank you.
Wonderful, Felipe. Thank you. Yes, so this program resides in DEO, and you will hear about many of the other offerings they have, as he mentioned, in just a moment. But before that, we have Carlos Ray, who is the Client and Community Relations Manager for this program that has brought us here today, CDAP. And Carlos is here to share with you all about CDAP's many no-cost program offerings, from bid alerts to training, support, bonding, all these different things. So with that, welcome, Carlos.
Thank you, Christy, and I'm excited to be here. And thank you to Supervisor Solis and the DEO team, Felipe. It's good to see you, and I think Enrique might be here as well. It's good to see you guys, and thank you guys so much for your support. We couldn't do this program without you. My name is Carlos Ray. I'm here to talk about the Los Angeles County Contractor Development and Bonding Program. So we'll get into the first slide. So a little bit about Meriwether and Williams Insurance Services. We are by trade a full service property and casualty, employee benefits, retirement, personal lines, insurance brokerage firm. That's a lot. We do a lot, so I have to say that. We also do line risk management, specialty programs around safety and loss prevention. We're probably most known for our contractor development, bonding, and technical assistance programs that we do up and down the state of California. We also have a program in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I'll get into more about what the program does for those that haven't heard it. We are enabling small businesses and emerging contractor to obtain bonds. We've done this to over $1 billion in bond transactions with a loss ratio of less than a tenth of 1%. So what we do, we know works, and we know that we can help you guys get opportunities with different projects. And then we've done over $6 million in contract-based financing, which you'll learn about as the presentation goes on. So that's just a little bit about us and why we're here for this program. I always want to read the program's mission and purpose is to reduce the barriers of bonding capacity, enabling greater and successful participation of small, local, minority, women, and disabled veteran-owned businesses and public contract opportunities. What we are all about is helping small businesses like yourselves get prepared and get positioned to get some of these opportunities that are coming out with some of the agencies that we work with, like LA County. And how we do that is through the 4 pillars of contractor development that you see here: assessment and technical assistance, bonding, contract financing and project assistance, education, training, and contract support, and prime contractor partnerships. And I'll kind of explain what all that means as we go through the presentation. Next slide, please. All right, so just a little bit about bonding. What is bonding? Bonding is a three-party agreement that guarantees a contract gets completed. It usually protects another party, not you as the contractor. And unlike insurance, it doesn't expect any losses and you can't purchase it. You actually have to qualify for it. So that's where you would work with a surety broker who would let you know what your bonding capacity is, and we would be able to help you with that, as I'll explain in just a minute. Why bonding? Why this idea of bonding? Well, it's actually mandated by law, both locally and federally. You can cite on public works projects, you can cite the Hurd Act, Miller Acts, and then in the states and local areas, it's Little Miller Acts that kind of look the same, but it'll be different in different jurisdictions. And it basically ensures that owners receive the finished product at the price they negotiated, and it ensures that everyone gets paid. One good thing about bonding is it can act as like a pre-qualification instrument for you and your ability. So as your bonding capacity grows, usually the size and types of projects that you work on grow as well. So you can use that bonding capacity, and as you increase it, it can show the type of projects your business and company can handle. Next slide. So some of the services we offer here at CDAP, as you'll hear for short, I mentioned bonding capacity. We can help you obtain bonding if you don't have it. We can help you increase your bonding capacity. We work with you to develop you as a contractor and build your capacity and the types of services that you can offer. We have a contract financing assistance program, which is great, and you'll hear more about that later on in the presentation. And what happens when you enroll in this program, you get a dedicated account manager, or as you'll hear us call them, contractor development manager. And that person will basically help you with your business development and the types of projects and things you want to pursue. We have agency collateral support that's available for you in the form of bid, performance, and payment bonds. For those, again, like I mentioned, who qualify for the bonds. Remember, bonding, you have to qualify for it. You can't purchase it. And then we offer a one-time use accounting subsidy for $3,200 if there's an instance where you need to have CPA prepared financial statements. We understand that those can be costly, so there is a little bit of relief there to help with those types of things that you may need. And then one of the great things we do, as Christy alluded to, we have weekly bid opportunities that we send out in the form of bid alerts. We also send out what we call the LA Contractor Weekly, which is our weekly newsletter where we send out the latest and bid alerts from LA County, um, different projects that are coming up that you may be interested in bidding on opportunities for. We also share events that we're hosting, such as this. So many of you probably found that event through that newsletter, but we also show you other industry events that we may not be hosting, but we may be partnering with other organizations to host, or they just may be hosting on their own. So you have access to all those different opportunities and all that information. Technical assistance that we offer. So once you enroll in the program and you work with your account manager, they will have an introductory phone call with you and develop an assessment and a work plan. So during that assessment, they'll talk to you about the different goals you have for your business, the types of projects you want to look at and go after. And then they'll use that to develop a work plan for you. This work plan is customized to you and your business. So it basically sets you up for success. What's the type of things you need to go after the projects you say you want to look after? Okay, do you have your certifications? Do you have, any marketing things in form of contractor profiles, something that we can help you with? Are you registered on DIR? Do you have, are you registered on RAMP and all the different portals, things that you need to have to be able to be successful and actually bid on contract opportunities. I mentioned a contractor profile. That's something we work with you on to help you with your marketing. It's a one-piece sheet that has all the information about your company that you can hand out or email to people that you're interested in working with. We can help you obtain certifications with any of the local agencies that you may need. We do bid document reviews. So when you're putting your bid together, we can help review it and talk to you about, where you may want to look at and improve in some areas. Contract completion support, which I'll talk more about. We have monthly workshops and coaching similar to what we're doing here today. And we also have different topics. We just had one earlier this week on understanding insurance for contractors. That was great. One of our colleagues taught that and just showed people how the types of insurance they should be looking at, depending on the type of business they have. And then the next one we have coming up in May is actually going to be principles of bidding and estimating. So what are some things I need to know as I'm bidding and estimating projects that I'm going after? So that would be something good. You guys could look out for it and attend that one. We also do what we call construction training academy. So we have bidding and estimating, which is a deeper dive into bidding and estimating, about 5 weeks where we kind of break down each section and each principle of bidding and estimating and do a deep dive into that. And then the second part of that, which usually happens in the fall, is contract award and management, where we basically say, hey, you've been awarded a project. Now, how do you actually manage it through successful closeout and completion? So we'll kind of walk you through those steps. And this kind of leads me into our prime partnership, where we actually partner with some of the prime GCs in the area, and they send their lead estimators and project managers and everyone that's been doing this for a while to kind of walk through these classes and show you exactly, you know, what you could do and what you should look out for, and give you some best practices and tips. Next slide. And so bid document review. So how we do that is we attend pre-bids. So you might see us at a lot of different pre-bids with LA County and some of the other agencies as well. So we can understand the project. We do bid document review. So we'll review the plan and specs with you. We'll assist you with identifying any risks to you that you may come across. We'll assist with identifying required bid documents. So what do you have to have in your bid in order for it to be deemed responsive and hopefully get awarded? And then we do a final bid document review, is where we can review your entire bid with you, help you make sure that you're responsive. We don't advise on numbers, so we don't say, hey, I think you should bid this number, or you're too high or too low. We leave that to you, but we do help you become responsive as best we can. And then we'll do a post-bid debrief. So we'll talk about, you know, why did you get awarded, or why didn't you get awarded? What do you think, you know, things went wrong? And then once you do get awarded, we'll do a contract review. So we'll work with you on reviewing that contract before you get started on the project. Next slide. And so once you're started on the project, once you've been awarded, you've signed, everything's ready to go, we'll do a project kickoff. So we have project managers on our team that will actually work with you to actually help you complete the project. So we'll do a project kickoff meeting. So that will be with you and possibly the owner or the prime that you're working with, making sure you have the job start checklist so you know exactly what you're doing and what you're responsible for and what you need to have. We'll do principal status reports and contract status reports. So we'll do monthly check-ins. We'll have updates for billings and payments and help you work through that. And we'll make sure you understand the construction schedule and where you fall into that. We also come out and do site visits. So we have project managers that can come do site visits, you know, help you work through any challenges you may be having in the field. And then change order log review. So we'll help you with any change orders that you may have, and just making sure that everything is getting completed on time and on budget, and work with you on that to make sure you can complete the contract successfully and overall build your business reputation and get more contracts and just do it all over and over again. Next slide. And so here I'm going to pass to my colleague, Janet Ramirez, who's going to talk to you more about the contractor development, contract financing, and assistance program. Janet?
Thanks, Carlos. So my name is Janet Ramirez. I'm the contract financing analyst for this program, or part of the service to this program. So I'm going to talk about our CFAP program and the requirements and what to expect if this is something that you're interested in. So some of the items that you would need to kind of do prior to getting this assistance would be to get enrolled in our contractor development and bonding program. Once you have been enrolled, you'll get assigned a contractor development manager. That contractor development manager will go ahead and create that assessment plan and work plan to determine if you are ready to start applying or getting pre-qualified for CFAP. So you must also be a SBE or DBE, just hold some type of certification depending on the lender that we're working with. We do require or prefer if you get pre-qualified prior to getting an awarded contract. So we would be happy to work with you while you're bidding for work. We can kind of help you incur the cost that what the loan would be to make sure that you are including that in your overhead, to make sure you're getting good profit margins on that. So it'd be helpful if there are some bids that you're interested in bidding on, we can kind of determine the first steps for that. Right now, we do help with construction contracts. We do also provide assistance with professional services contracts, typically related to construction. So any janitorial services, any cleanup stuff, or anything related to construction, we would be able to qualify as a contract eligible for CFAP assistance. Once that contract has been identified, we will use your contract as collateral. And what that means is we expect you to complete the job and make those, turn in those progress payments and pay applications. And once that payment is released to you, we kind of expect that money to come back to us in the trust account. So that is the amount that is awarded to you is your collateral on this. So once we've determined that contract, it would only be applicable for the projects that are approved. So the loan would only apply to this one contract that you have been approved. So all of the account receivables that you receive on this contract are going to be put back into the work or the project until we kind of see that it's best to kind of release your profit to you. As far as the loan amount, we do go up to $250,000 per loan. And typically we can only include one contract at a time. So the money isn't released to you all at once. It's really released to you as needed. So if you were to be approved for a $250,000 loan, but you only need about $50,000 to get started as far as like mobilization or getting materials ready to start, we'll only release those $50,000, meaning that the interest will go ahead and be incurring on the amount that is utilized. With this program, we do include third-party funds administration, and with third-party funds administration, what they really do is they manage the funds as far as the loan amount. They manage your progress payments that come into this account, any bills that need to be paid as far as materials, vendors, any rented or leased equipment that needs to be paid that's specifically for this job. They'll go ahead and pay those bills on your behalf upon your request. And then next who would be paid would be the lender, depending on how the loan is structured, whether it's just interest or interest in principal, they would go ahead and get paid. And then anything that is going to be released to you would be your overhead and profit at that time. But typically with the loan funds, we will want to make sure that we pay all your vendors, your employees, to make sure that we continue the work and complete the project on time. And then obviously the lender to keep the loan current, and then anything that is going to be owed to you afterwards. As far as the interest rate and fees that are associated with the loan, currently we're just depending on the lender. Right now it's at 9.5 interest rate and a 1% origination fee for the amount of the loan that you are approved for. We will go ahead and create a cash flow projection that would kind of determine and show all of the fees and interests that are associated to the loan. You'll see a breakout to all of your costs, so it's a clear picture of the amount that we would kind of need to borrow from the lender. So once these loans are paid off, typically these loans are paid off within 8 months, or just depending on how long the project is. It does increase your business credit score. You'll also get other technical assistance, such as creating a cash flow projection that you can use as a template to kind of utilize for other projects to make sure that it's something that is feasible for you, if you could afford to kind of take on that project, especially if you're not used to having larger projects or having the means to have the upfront money. So the cash flow projection would typically show you what your profit's going to be on the job. And then once we've completed the loan, the project, we close out this loan, our goal is to obviously continue to help you get more projects. And if you need another loan, we can definitely help with multiple loans. There's no limit to how many times you can apply for this program, but our goal is to eventually get you commercially bankable with one of our partners that we may have, or we can kind of refer you to others based through our partnership with lenders. So our goal is to get you to that commercial bank so you can get a larger line of credit or just working capital for your business. Next slide. So if you are interested in any of the services that Carlos mentioned, or if you're interested in contract-based financing, give us a call or email and we'll make sure to get back to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Janet. And so that's the contract development and bonding program. In a nutshell, I know we always get this question, and I know you guys are having some great thoughts on a Wednesday afternoon, but someone always asks, Carlos, this is great. I want to do it. How much does it cost? And I always say it doesn't cost anything except time and effort. The only fund you'll ever pay is if you take advantage of the contract financing assistance program, as Janet mentioned. You will pay that back. But other than that, all the resources and services that we discussed are at no cost to you because of our sponsors like LA County, who want to see small businesses get prepared and get ready and get awarded projects with them. As you guys know, there's a lot of work that's happening now and more to come as we prepare for the Olympic Games and all the different things that are happening in our area. So we definitely want you to give us a call, give us an email, take advantage of all the resources there because we want to see you grow as a business and business owners and take advantage of a lot of these opportunities that are happening in our area. So thank you guys so much for your time and attention, and I'll give it back to you, Christy.
Thank you, Carlos and Janet. So we really have a wonderful team here at CDAP, honestly. So just a quick reminder, after the workshop, we will provide you with the full slide deck, of course, and information about how to enroll in the program if you're not already enrolled. So before we move on to the presentations from the different county and metro presenters, we have a quick poll question. So it should pop up on your screen, and we'll just give you about a minute to respond. In 30 more seconds. Okay, thank you so much. Next up, we have Enrique Gonzalez, who is here on behalf of the Department of Economic Opportunity, Office of Small Business. We heard from Felipe earlier, but Enrique's here to speak about the many other dedicated offerings of the Office of Small Business, including certifications and the Apex Accelerator Program, partnerships, counselings, a lot of wonderful things. So welcome, Enrique.
Hi, everyone. My name is Enrique Gonzalez. I'm with the Office of Small Business, and you heard from earlier is Felipe Moscoso. He's my boss over at the Office of Small Business, where he serves as chief. I'm a supervisor within the office. I oversee Apex Accelerator. oversee the certification program, and I also oversee the concierge program. Those are the dimensions of contract readiness and contracting technical assistance that is provided out of the Office of Small Business. Next slide, please. In echoing Felipe's remarks, the Department of Economic Opportunity implements strategic economic development policies and programs to create pathways to economic self-sufficiency for our county's most disadvantaged communities, which include justice-involved homeless, foster youth, veterans, diverse, small businesses, nonprofits, individuals on public assistance, and low-income communities. So the different ways in which we do that within the Office of Small Business, at least under the programming that I supervise, we serve small businesses and their ability to participate in government contracting, irrespective of their industry. So all industries are welcome to obtain support to get involved in government contracting, whether you're selling billiards, whether you're selling janitorial services, whether you're selling pretty much anything that is sold to the government, and even stuff that you'd like to see whether or not there's a market within the public sector. We'd be able to assist you with the assessment of that. Next slide, please. Okay, so just to back up a little bit, we provide one-on-one counseling. That's pretty much our main focus, where we're able to assist businesses, where we get to know what it is that they offer, and we're able to use that information in tandem with the knowledge about the process steps, the vehicles, to be able to facilitate their pathways. Not every path is the same for every business. So we want to be able to get that assessment of what the business has to offer, where they are in their path as in the growth within their industry, and use that to support their next steps. We also work with community-based organizations in partnership with end goals that could be government contracting, contract readiness, but are also just essentially small business growth is part of the programming goals that we have. The departmental partnerships like EMI, we also work with legal aid, and several other partners that sometimes and very often have specialized knowledge to be able to support the small businesses that we serve. The Apex Accelerator has been in operation since 2000, at least within the county. It was founded by Congress back in 1985. And since its inception within the county, at least as far as the tracking goes, the programming has resulted in, at least $500 million, at least that's directly associated with the companies we worked with. In many cases, this is very difficult to track because it's only as much as our businesses report. So next slide, please. So our office proper is at East Los Angeles Entrepreneurial Center at 4716 East Cesar Chavez. We're open 5 days a week, 8 to 5. We accept walk-ins, and we are also available by appointment. Our headquarters for the Department of Economic Opportunity is at Vermont, 510 Vermont, in just west of downtown. Our concierge program, we assist businesses with business to consumer and business to business services. We also have a certification program that supports businesses as well as ensures that we are tabulating all current certifications, whether it's local small business enterprise, social enterprise, disabled veteran business enterprise, and community business enterprise, which entails the subset certifications, which do not have a price preference like local small business enterprise and social enterprise and disabled veteran business enterprise, but they're there to be able to ensure that they have recognition to obtain access that they may not otherwise have. The Apex Accelerator is co-funded by the County of Los Angeles and the federal government's Department of Defense Office of Small Business Programs. And it's been a partnership, as I said, since 2000. It was at one point called the Procurement Technical Assistance Center, and it's a system of centers that operate throughout the country to support not just businesses and their participation in government contracting, but also to support the government industrial base, to support the availability of services and products to the government, so that we are constantly ensuring that the government has what it needs to continue working and moving forward. Next slide, please. Okay, so the Apex program, we work with the clients on a one-on-one basis. We provide them with local, state, and federal information about how to participate. That consists of sometimes the repetitive aspects of government contracting that pertain to registration. Say, for example, LA County has a WebBen system. The state of California utilizes the Cal eProcure system, and the federal government uses SAM.gov. They have different names, but essentially distinction without a difference. They all serve as a registration function to make it possible for the government to know who it is that wants to do business. The next step is a certification. And our certification steps have assistance all along the way. So if you would like to participate in certification programs taking place at the local, state, or federal level, we'd be able to provide you with a menu of certifications that you may be eligible for. The small business development is to essentially get you to where you want to be, whether you want to participate in the economy as a business to consumer, or business to business, or business to government. They oftentimes abbreviate that to B2C, B2B, or B2G. So we'd like to think of ourselves as being able to provide the full spectrum of services, and very oftentimes we're able to provide a hybrid counseling session, so that, you know, if there is a certain amount of government contracting readiness that you still need in the process of targeting the government contracting space, we'd be able to assist you in that capacity as well. I'm not sure how much detail I'd be able to go into that aspect of our services right now, but for our purposes here. But let's go on to the next slide, and I won't. Okay, so you'll want to certify with the County of Los Angeles, and the county is really trying to push forward the idea that more small businesses need to participate in county contracts, and that's something that I know is essentially a goal of the county, is to make sure that these dollars that are spent by the county stay in the county, which is why the registration system is set up. The certification system is set up so that you have the opportunity to become informed about the certification that is available, that is through local small business enterprise. And we'll talk to you about what that certification entails, as far as why I think it would be beneficial for you to get it. So the step 2 would be to apply for your certification. There are, as I said, several of them, and I encourage you to qualify for as many of them as you possibly can. One thing I haven't mentioned, and I'm just going to throw in along the way, is just that all of these services that I'm talking about are free. So once you've registered at WebBen, next step will be to go to certified.lacounty.gov at the very bottom of this slide. The next slide. Okay, so I referenced a 15% price preference. That is certainly a great reason to get involved in the preference program entities. The local small business enterprise, if you are a business that is within the County of Los Angeles and you have an average annual revenue of 18 million or less, then you qualify. If you're a disabled veteran business enterprise, then you will also qualify for the 15% price preference. And then if you're a social enterprise, if your business model has some community benefit, whether it's environmental or social, for example, we encourage you to apply for that certification as well. All of these certifications provide for the 15% price preference. You can compete in a limited pool of competitors through what is called the streamlined acquisition process, and then the 15-day prompt pay. So when you qualify for this program, you win a contract, you can get a stamp that says you are to be paid within 15 days. So next slide, please. After that, there's the CBE. As I mentioned, it doesn't result in the price preference program benefits the way the LSBE, Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise and Social Enterprise certifications have, but these are still important for the recognition that the county likes to ensure that these businesses get in the RFP process. The RFPs will specify that contractors that win awards are requested to make a good faith effort to subcontract with businesses of these types, so they can participate as subcontractors and get more experience as government contractors, experience that very often is a prerequisite for participation. And say, for example, construction companies or construction contracts very often require some contracting experience. So it's a great way to help inclusion in county contracting. Next slide. Okay, so the Apex Accelerator, essentially, like I said, it was started in '85. It's a partnership with DoD. We provide market research so that you can identify who is purchasing your services and products in your industry, whether it's local to the region of LA County, whether it's statewide. We can help you find opportunities, as local as the County of Los Angeles or as far-flung as the County of Stanislaus. We'd be able to identify through this market research software what the pricing is, so you can have an idea as to where you might stand in terms of the profitability of a given contract by looking at this market research software. Next slide, please. So I encourage you to make use of the QR code that's listed here. It's a live link to our counseling process. We are available for counseling sessions to assist you with your registration, your certification, your capability statement, your networking with buyers, both on current bids as well as expired bids, as well as RFP assistance. While we cannot assist you with the editing of your proposal if it's a county bid, we can certainly assist you with kind of interpreting the RFP language and so forth. But we do assist with RFPs at the federal level and outside of the county, and we're happy to do so. Let's go on to the next slide, please. Okay, so sort of repetitive here. You can also reach out to us, osb@opportunity.lacounty.gov. And then we have our various links here. The QR code I recommend just utilizing so you can schedule an appointment. We can register you in our system and you'll be able to hear about all of our events as well as our calendar of events. And then I can also offer my direct email in case you'd like to reach out. My email address is EC Gonzalez. That's E as in Edward, C as in Charles, Gonzalez with 2 Z's at opportunity.lacounty.gov. Once again, EC Gonzalez, 2 Z's at opportunity.lacounty.gov. And I think that's the second to last slide. What would be the next one? Oh yeah, okay, thank you. Very much appreciate it. Always glad to partner with Meriwether and Williams. We've, the amount of experience that we've been able to add on, I think, through just knowing about how they operate has helped us improve our services at the Apex Accelerator. And of course, their bonding assistance has been invaluable to many construction contractors looking to get involved in opportunities. So I thank you very much for this invitation and getting to be here.
Enrique, thank you so much. It's wonderful that the county offers such a diverse array of ways that small contractors can really improve their potential to bid. So that's great, and we're always happy to work with you. Up next, we have Julie Fan from LA County Public Works here to share about doing business with Public Works and what those opportunities look like and how to navigate them. So welcome, Julie.
Thank you, Christy. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. Today, I'm going to go over a few things on how to do business with LA County Public Works. Next slide, please. Now, LA County Public Works is one of 38 county departments. Here at Los Angeles County Public Works, we design, build, and maintain transportation, as well as flood control infrastructure, and provides municipal services to the county's incorporated areas such as building safety, waste management, sewer maintenance, and traffic signals and street lighting. Next slide, please. Before I tell you on how to do business with Public Works, there are a couple of steps that you will need to know and in order to get the ball rolling and get started. The first step in doing business with LA County is to become a county vendor. This is where you'll be able to go to our website, the doing business with lacounty.gov. My colleague will go ahead and drop off the links as we go through the website. Next slide. The next step is to certify your registered business. As Enrique said, you can register the business through the county's for the county's preference program, such as local small business enterprise, disabled veteran business enterprise, social enterprises, or community business enterprises. The LSBE preference program boosts contracting opportunities for small businesses in LA County. The DVBE preference program is designed to enhance purchasing and contracting opportunities for business owned by disabled veterans. The SE preference program was designed to increase opportunities for enterprises whose primary purpose is to enhance Los Angeles County through economic, social, and environmental sustainability. The CBE program includes designations as a woman business enterprise, minority business enterprise, disadvantaged business enterprise, and the LGBTQ owned businesses. This program allows participating businesses to capitalize on opportunities in government and private sector procurement. These businesses will include in the county CBE listing, many county department, public agencies, and private sectors and subcontractors use the CBE listing to meet subcontracting goals. Now, as a certified vendor of our businesses can receive up to 15% bid price reductions. Next slide, please. Now that we have a better understanding on how to register and certify, let us talk about how to do business with Public Works. Next slide, please. As I said before, here at LA County, we design, build, maintain transportation and flood control infrastructure and provide municipal services to the county's incorporated areas with building safety, waste management, server maintenance, traffic signals, and street lighting. But in order to do so, we would need contractors and businesses like yourself. Next slide. The sheer number of activities and services we provide means we have a wide variety of contracts to help us deliver those services. We also need vendors who can provide materials and services to enable us to deliver our services, but also utilize such services such as hauling trucks, dump trucks, janitorial service, and those that are listed here. As Carlos said, with the upcoming Olympics, there's going to be so many different opportunities that the county will be utilizing and will need to tap into. This will be a good time to register and certify your business so that when the time arises and the opportunities are there, you're able to capitalize on that. Next slide, please. Now let's start contracting with LA County. All of Public Works contracting opportunities can be located on our Do Business with Public Works website. Next slide. From the dropdown, you can filter the different opportunities by building projects, design build, infrastructure projects, professional services such as on-call testing service, purchasing opportunities, anything that the county would need, or sundry services such as training or janitorial services. Next slide, please. On our do business page, you can also filter the status by open, upcoming, closed, awarded, or view all opportunities. I would like to take a moment to touch on the upcoming solicitations. On the upcoming solicitation, it is a good time to view what is coming down in the pipeline so that you can familiarize yourself with the solicitations and prepare all your necessary documents. You can also see when the solicitations are expected to be released. Keep in mind that this page is constantly being updated. You want to make sure that you're reading all the necessary documents that is being required, because you do not want to lose out on a bid for not reading the instructions completely. This is also a good time. During this time, I would also suggest signing up for our weekly newsletter. Within our weekly newsletters, we do send out weekly on the different opportunities that LA County has, LA County Public Works has, but also different resources that you can utilize as a small business. Next slide, please. Once you find the solicitation that is good for your business, go ahead and click on that link. It will then take you to creating an account with Public Works. Please note, you will also have to be a registered vendor prior to the account creation. Upon creating your account, once you log in for the first time, the system will prompt you to enter your legal business name, how you do business, your zip code, and the number of employees that you have, and if your business is a certified business or CBE certified business. You will not be able to view the solicitation until this has been completed. Next slide, please. Now, a few details to keep an eye out when you're viewing the project summary. You want to make sure you find the proposal date. All documents will have to be submitted by that date to be considered for a bid. Also in the project summary, you can see the contact information for the contract analyst. If you happen to have any questions regarding that solicitation, please reach out directly to the analyst and they will be able to answer any of your questions. Again, you want to make sure you review all the documents that is attached in the solicitation. We want to make sure that you're submitting everything that is necessary for the bid itself. Next slide. We do have a weekly newsletter, which I lightly touched upon earlier, that is sent out to our subscribers. On our weekly email, we do provide not only new opportunities, but upcoming events and also resources that can assist small businesses like yourself with government contracting. We'll also highlight upcoming events that you will be able to utilize or register and attend to assist in, with your contracting needs. Next slide, please. Now let's get you contracting with Public Works. Go ahead and scan the QR code or to click on the link provided. It will then take you to our Do Business link tree with all the links necessary to begin your contracting career with Los Angeles County. I hope you gained valuable insights today on how to do business and can connect with Los Angeles County. My name is Julie Fan. I am the program manager here at Public Works, and thank you for joining us today.
Julie, thank you so much. Just a reminder, if you have questions for Julie, Enrique, or our other two speakers that are coming up, stick around till the end and we'll have some time to address those in the Q&A. So we'll keep moving along. Next up, we have Jan Davis with us from the Diversity and Economic Opportunity Department, DEOD of Metro, here to speak about doing business with Metro and the support that DEOD has to offer. So welcome, Jan.
Hi, well, thank you so much. I am so happy to be here, especially excited to hear all of the wonderful opportunities that my industry colleagues are putting before small businesses. And they, like we here at Metro, we're committed to small business success. So I want to talk to you a little bit about doing business with Metro. So next slide, please. So first, I want to just say again, welcome. I'm Jan Davis, and I bring you greetings from the Diversity and Economic Opportunity Department Keith Compton is our director. He is not joining us today, but he always sends his hellos and best wishes for a successful meeting. Next slide, please. So we're going to tell you a little bit about DEOD and who we are. So part of our responsibility at DEOD is to open doors for small businesses, to maximize participation in our solicitations or any of the projects that we have going on. Now, Metro, as you may know, is a transportation agency. So we don't necessarily, we're not a construction firm. So although we do have things that we are building, you know, our corridors, our rails, and, you know, our 10K sites that we have coming up, but we do have opportunities for small businesses to participate. So we're going to tell you a little bit about that. So next slide, please. So before we get started, let me just kind of explain to you about us and what we do. So for those of you that are not familiar, we like to say that we're your friends on the inside. We understand that doing business with agencies such as the Los Angeles Metropolitan Transportation Authority can be daunting, but we advocate for you. We serve as your system navigators. In case you get lost, you can always call us and ask questions and advise, and we would be happy to direct you in the right, on the right course of action. And some of our responsibilities, just so you'll know, is that we do administer and oversee our small business programs and initiatives. We publicize contracting opportunities. We provide training and resources. We set DBE, SBE, DVBE contract goals, which happens to have been one of my favorites when I was on the contract compliance side. And then we also monitor compliance. Next slide, please. You know, what's funny is I keep touching my device because I'm thinking it's going to advance the slide. So I have to remember to ask you to advance it. It's funny. So anyway, so let's talk a little bit about Metro certification. You heard many of my industry partners talk about becoming certified. Well, Metro is a certifying body, and we do small business certifications. Similar to professional certifications. It's a document that kind of solidifies your status, and it will help you compete in the marketplace. So it also increases your visibility to prime contractors. Prime contractors are required to meet our SBE or DBE utilization goals. And as a certified firm, you are critical to that process. You heard Carlos talk a little bit earlier about being responsive to the solicitation. Well, when we set those DVBE or SBE or DBE goals, then in order for a prime contractor to be responsive and successfully complete their bid for Metro, they will have to figure or configure a way to include small businesses. Okay, once we break down that contract and we say, hey, we see opportunities for small businesses to be a part of this particular contract. So we're going to set a 35% goal. And here are the areas that we want you to consider for small businesses. And then we provide them with a list of small businesses that fit that scope of work. And they have to utilize that list to pull a team together in order to be responsive for that. It also levels the playing field by providing fair opportunity to compete for federally or non-federally funded transportation contracts. And this is for certified business owners where the businesses are controlled by a socially and economically disadvantaged individual. Next slide, please. So currently, Metro will accept two types of certifications. So the disadvantaged business enterprise. So I'll just read through this really quickly. DBE program requires that the applicant be socially and economically disadvantaged as outlined by CFR Part 26. Metro is a member of the California Unified Certification Program, the CUCP, and accepts DBE certified by other member agencies. So that's we have reciprocity with other agencies who are also CUCP certifying bodies. For the small business enterprise, our SBE program is unique to Metro, and it mirrors all of the things that you'll find in the DBE program, but it is race and gender neutral. And for our our disabled veteran business enterprises, we accept the DVBE certifications as provided by the Department of General Services with the state of California. Next slide, please. So here are a few requirements for DBE and SBE. So you must be an independent business organized for profit. Your personal net worth is less than 1.32 million. Your annual gross receipts over a 5-year average must be less than 26.29 million. And the qualifying individuals are in control of managing the daily operations of the business, and 51% ownership by one or more economically disadvantaged individuals. Okay, and I think that's pretty clear, but if you have any questions about that, just let me know and I'll go a little bit deeper into it. But if you have surpassed the 1.32 million and the 26.29 million, hey, we're going to say congratulations, but we have some other things for you to take advantage of, okay, so that you don't grow out of our small business program. Next slide, please. Let's see, an additional requirement for DBE. So in addition to being socially disadvantaged or socially and economic disadvantage, it means that any individual who is a citizen of the United States or lawfully admitted permanent resident who is a member of at least one of the following designations: African Americans, Hispanic, Native Americans, Asian Americans, subcontinent Asian American, and women, and this includes women of all races. Okay, so it's just a little extra added there for you to understand how our DBE program works. Next slide, please. B2G online certification application. So now, when we first started our online certification, we were the only ones that were doing it. But now, the online certification, I know that many agencies are doing that now. But I will say we are the only California Unified Certification Program, CUCP member that has implemented an online certification and management system. So this application has been designed to streamline the process for you and to eliminate the need to bring in those hard copy submissions. I remember when I first started at Metro, before we, well, it wasn't me, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. When I first came to Metro, we were online. We were already certifying online. But I hear many of my colleagues that say when they first started at Metro, that they would see people coming in and bringing in those big old bankers boxes and all of that information so that they could go through the certification process. Well, that is no more. We do have an online platform that you can use. I understand that it's very user-friendly, that it's a tracking tool to check on you can use it to check on the status of your application once everything is done. And it also has 24-hour technical support. So you'll have all of the resources and tools that you need to complete your application. And then we have a wonderfully bomb online certification team. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the next slide. Certification resources. I knew this slide would be here. So online applications may be accessed at metro.go b2g.com. And then for more information about our certification, you can talk directly to our certification unit at metro.net. So certification unit at metro.net. there's the number, and of course, you can find anything that relates to small business, so small business success, all of our programs, all of our initiatives at metro.net/connect. We'll talk a little bit about that in some of the later slides. Next one, please. Metro Small Business Program. So you heard me say that if you have graduated out of our DBE program, then we have some other things that you could take advantage of. Our former CEO, Phil Washington, was a big fan of this medium-sized program that we have, which would take you to the next level if you were, having such great success and you graduated out of the small business or the DBE or the small business program by the amount of money that you were earning. And then that would put you in the medium-sized business level, because, we want to keep you in-house and keep you able to bid on Metro projects. So they came up with another one, and this is the medium size. And then our small business prime, which is a set aside, is established just so you as a small business could compete against other firms that are like you. And you then would perform 30% of the commercial useful function, and then you can hire a big prime to perform the 70%. So that's what our small business prime set aside. So and I think there's a slide that talks about how that works, so I won't go into that now. And then my personal favorite is our contract outreach and mentoring plan, which is our comp plan. So whenever Metro has an RFP or an IFB or anything like that, that goes out that is over 25 million, then the prime contractor has to establish a contracting outreach and mentoring plan. And that means that they're going to tell us how they're going to take small businesses of their choice under their wings to grow them. To grow capacity, or to increase their knowledge, or to train them. So they have to provide that to us, and that's another way that they have to show responsiveness in their bid or their bid package. Next slide. So I won't go through all of our small business prime program. This is going to be provided to you, but I'll just give you a minute to take a look at it. And we already talked about, what it is in, generally, but I will say again that it's a flipped business model, and the SBEs will perform as the prime, and then the large businesses are the subs, and it does have a built-in mentorship program. I will also say very proudly that this particular program, as you see at the top, it says cited best practice by the Millikan Institute and Bruce Katz Brookings Institute. And since its inception, we have awarded over $188 million in small business prime contracts. So the numbers don't lie, you guys. It's real. And we're excited about this program. And we just celebrated 10 years I believe it was last June. So yay for the small business prime. Next slide, please. Medium size. Remember, we talked about how you have done great business. You have exceeded the numbers financially, and now you're in a new set. You're no longer eligible to compete as a small business, but we have something. We didn't want to leave you out in the cold, so we have our medium-sized business enterprise, and you can come in. It's a new set aside, as you see here, that will bridge the gap between small business and large business concerns. So in order to qualify for a medium size, it says that you must not be a subsidiary of another firm, so you have to stand on your own, and you have a 3-year average of 25 million to 250 million, and that is the maximum. So you will grow out of this one as well, but yay for you if you do, right? Success, right? So, and your gross annual receipts and the 25 maximum 250 employees maximum will be validated by Metro. So we're going to go in and we're going to check the numbers to make sure that you're able to compete for our medium size. So how it works is Metro will invite firms of any size to bid and propose under the MSZ. If we get 2 responsive MSZ bidders, meaning you meet all of the requirements, then it will trigger a set aside. So that means we are going to set it aside just for the MSZ bidders because we have at least 2 that compete. Okay, makes it all, you know, fair play. If we have less than, in other words, once we put it out there and we have less than 2 firms that meet the MSZ requirement, then it goes back to everyone and then everyone can bid on it, right? Okay, so next slide, please. So here is a infographic about our small business programs. I won't go through that in its entirety, but when you do get the slide deck, just go ahead and take a look at it, and it's going to give you facts and figures about our small business program. Next slide. You heard me talk a little bit about our contracting outreach and mentoring plan, which is our comp. I gave you a little information. It's for RFPs and IFBs that are over 25 million, with the exception of architecture and engineer. And I know that there is a reason why architecture and engineer is exempt. At the moment, I cannot tell you, but if you're really interested, give me a call or give me send me an email and I will search that out because, and just right now, I can't recall why exactly architecture and engineering firms are left out of this, but there's a valid reason. Anyway, I want to say that the objective of the comp program is to measurably grow capacity of DBEs, SBEs, and DVBE firms. So here is the requirements. We talked about that earlier, so I won't bother to go through it. But all of this information has to be outlined in the prime contract, not the prime, but whoever is bidding, the bidder. It has to be outlined in their RFP in order for it to be responsive. Next slide, please. Well, here are a couple of things that you kind of need to know about. We do have our How to Do Business with Metro workshop. It is the second Tuesday of every month. And all of the things that you heard me talk about right now, that you're going to get it in its entirety when you come to that particular workshop. So if you're interested in doing business with Metro, I would advise you strongly to come to our How to Do Business with Metro workshop. There are a myriad of other events that we host, but this one is the one that you want to come to if you are interested in doing business with Metro and getting started on that package. And then, of course, our Transportation Business Advisory Council is the first Thursday of every month. And this particular council, as you can see here, it advises Metro and DEOD on matters concerning small businesses. And we feature speakers that month. We talk about contracting opportunities, legislation updates, and more. Okay. And for the month of August, it's usually dark because we follow our board of directors, which is usually dark in August. And next slide, please. And I hope that this next slide, okay, yes. So now what you see here is our vendor portal. So the first thing we want you to do is we want you to, if you're not registered already as a vendor, we want you to go onto this vendor portal and we want you to register as a vendor. So what's going to happen is that once you register, maybe in about 24 to 48 hours, you're going to get a vendor registration number. Okay. And then you're going to use that number as your ID to navigate through our vendor portal. And also what you see here is I want to bring attention to our Metro Toolkit. That's a toolkit that we provide to all of our small businesses who are coming in. It's going to kind of serve as a navigator for our system. Here you can also see our certification. You see our 12-month look ahead. That's really important. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But what's more is I want to talk to you about our solicitations, okay? Now, the thing is with Metro, and I'm going to make this really quickly, as quick as I can, because I know there's probably more presenters. But with Metro, you're going to have to do the digging. Okay, you have some of the other agencies that are online that have the hand-holding processes, and I think that those are wonderful. But with Metro, we want you to come in and we want you to dig deep. So come in, take a look at our open solicitations. You'll find them there right under that tab. Okay, and you can go in and I think, let's see, the next slide, please. It may have, oh, it doesn't. Okay, so let's just go back one. We're almost done, but I will tell you a little bit more about our open solicitation. So the open solicitations, you're going to find all of the contracting opportunities right there. And you can either download it, you can scroll through it, click on it, interact with it, because it's going to give you some important information about the contracting opportunities. It's going to give you numbers, contact information for the, I believe it only lists, not the program, well, it has the program manager, but you can only contact and speak live with the contract administrator. But they have valuable information for you regarding the solicitation and the bidding process. And you'll also hear or see what the specific dates are, when it's going to be released, when it's due. It's going to have information about the pre-bid. Something very important, we want you to go in and ask the contract administrator for the plan holders list. So that's all of the potential bidders, and that list is required. You can ask for that list and they will give it to you. And then you can look through and see who is planning to bid. Then you would go to that firm, whoever it is, and say, hey, I understand you're going to be bidding on this RFP for Metro. And it said this RFP says that, this particular scope of work is needed. Well, that's exactly what I do. I'm firm so-and-so. My name is Mr. Firm here, and I'd like to talk to you about partnering with you on this particular contract. So those are kind of the things that'll be successful for you. The other important thing is the events and news. So if you go there, you can find all of the information about Metro, what we're doing, where we will be. There's other information that we've loaded up there from our sister agencies and industry partners. And also, it's got all kinds of contact information there. And you also have the opportunities for the Small Business Prime set aside, as well as the MSZ. Okay. Next slide, please. And of course, our vendor portal again is metro.net/connect. Next slide. And that's it. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Jan. Thank you for joining us and sharing. You guys are doing so much at DoD. We have one more presentation from Christy Carr, who is here on behalf of the Internal Services Department at LA County Contracting Division to talk a little bit more about pursuing opportunities overseen by ISD. So welcome, Christy.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. As mentioned, my name is Christy Carr. I am ISD's Contract Division Manager. I just want to first, before I get started with the presentation, give a special thanks to Christy, Mildred, and the entire Meriwether-Williams team for hosting this series, and also for their continued partnership here at the County of Los Angeles. And also just a quick special thanks to our Supervisor Hilda Solis with SD1 for sponsoring this particular event. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. As mentioned, I am the contract manager here at the Internal Services Department. As you heard some of my colleagues mention as well, the county here is extremely large. We have 38 different departments. So my department is just one of those 38, and we provide all of the core and also general services and IT services to all of those other county departments. And that really enables them to be able to focus on their core mission with procurement activities. So I have 7 different sections. I manage over 900 different contracts totaling almost $1 billion. So a lot of contracting opportunities countywide, but also specifically within my department as well. And the next slide. And we can go ahead and move forward with the next slide. Wonderful, thank you. So one thing I just wanted to point out is just, again, how large the County of Los Angeles is and how many contracting opportunities we have annually, but also daily as well. So here's some numbers that I just wanted to throw out at you just so you can see the magnitude of spend, also volume of awards, and also dollar of the awards. And most importantly, in my opinion, this is one of my pet peeves, is paying our vendors on time. So as it relates to contracting opportunities, last fiscal year, we actually had over $10 billion of spend. And that was awarded through purchase orders, contracts, agreements, and also master agreements. And we had a little over 25,000 requisitions that were solicited throughout our 38 different departments. And of that over, $10.7 billion spend, we had 943 million awarded to our certified businesses. And I think you heard my colleague at the Office of Small Business, Enrique, talk a little bit about the certifications that we offer here at the county, which is our local small business, our LSBE program, our DVBE program, and also our social enterprise program. So when we talk about certified businesses, we're talking about those preference programs, but also our CBE programs as well, which is our community-based enterprise certification programs. That's your women-owned businesses, your LGBTQs, our vet businesses, so on and so forth. And so of our 90,000, actually over 90,000 vendors that we have registered here at the county, we only have a little under 1,700 of 90,000 that are certified as either one of those designations, the CBEs or the preference programs. And so what that means is, there's a lot of opportunity for you, if you meet the requirements, to certify and also be awarded potentially the preference points that the county provides with the PPE programs. And as my colleague, our colleague over there at Metro mentioned, Jan, the preference program really helps you and enables you to compete for business against those larger primes. And so that's just one of the benefits, is giving you a 15% preference on your bid or also your cost proposal. And then that last number here that you're seeing is our turnaround time for payment processing. This is something that is, like I mentioned, very important to me. It's one of my pet peeves here, is that we pay our vendors timely, but it's also a huge priority of our board. So much so that our board directed us to track our cycle time with how long it takes us to pay our vendors. And so that is our average number of payment processing time, cycle time, which is 7 days right now. We're continuously monitoring that. And we do have a prompt payment program also that's available to our PPEs, which is 15 days. So we have to meet that 15-day turnaround time for payment processing, because we don't want to cause a financial hardship for you, our vendors. So with that, there's a lot of contracting opportunities here at the county, and I want to give you some important information on websites and contact information. And next slide. Thank you. So we've got a QR code for you here, and I think you guys have heard a little bit about where to find our contracting opportunities already, but here's a QR code that you can quickly do a screenshot of this and access it. this is where we post all of our contracting opportunities county-wide. So every single department, all 38 different departments publish as a one-stop shop all of their solicitations on this website. And we also have on the right-hand side, you're seeing our contact information. So our vendor support system, which is vendor relations. If you need anything at all, if you have a problem registering, going through that registration process, you can't remember your registration number, so on and so forth, you can reach out to our vendor relations team, and they are actually housed here at the Internal Services Department. So right there's their email address and their telephone number. And then, of course, we have vendor registration. The vendor registration I'm going to touch on a little bit following this presentation, next slide. And so I'll save that for the next slide. And then open solicitations, I'm going to go over how to search for our open solicitations with you. And Enrique just presented, and he is a part of our Office of Small Business. And so he gave you all of their good contact information and all the different resources that they provide, including their small business concierge program, which has a ton of benefits and technical assistance that is free. But if you need their information, that is their website as well. So just wanted to make sure that you guys have the resources available to enable you and help you do business with the County of Los Angeles. And next slide. Thank you. So this is, once you scan that QR code that was on that previous slide, this is where that will take you. This is our landing page, our public facing landing page, and it's the Doing Business with LA County website. And the first thing I want to call out here is this button in green. This is the vendor registration portal. This is our one-stop shop. If you click on that register button, it'll take you to the registration page. And it's really, really important if you are not registered to do business with the county, it's really important that you do register. It's really the only way that our county procurement teams and also our contracting teams know who you are. And it's the first step in, of course, doing business with the county. But more importantly, it's also how we notify you of solicitations once we release them. So we use this registration system to identify your commodity codes. And when we release solicitations, we're blasting those solicitations to those commodity codes. So it's really important that you register, you put a good contact information for the registration profile, and also that you select as many commodity codes for goods and services that are applicable to your firm. I always recommend best practice is the more the merrier, because again, that's how we're going to send notifications of open contracting opportunities to you. So it allows you to get that information on the solicitations. It also gives you award information. We also publish and distribute event information, such as events similar to the Meriwether-Williams event. We also conduct trainings for our vendors, and so we will publish those and distribute those through the blasts as well, and also different program information as program information becomes available here at the county. And then finally, you have to be registered to do business with us to be awarded either a purchase order or a contract or agreement. And then, of course, piggybacking on that, it's the only way that one, you can be awarded, but two, that's how we pay you for your services as well. So you have to be registered to do business with the county in order to get a contract and also to be paid for services and for goods rendered. So the registration process, once you do click on that, is very quick and easy. It is a 5-step process, and you'll basically create your vendor profile. You'll add an address and contact information. You'll enter in your W-9 information. And then step number 4 is where you select the commodities. Again, select as many as are applicable to your firm. And then you're going to save, and then that is the creation of your registration user account with the county. And you do need to have also, just a friendly reminder, your taxpayer ID number handy, and also your California sales permit number as well. Okay. And if you have any questions, again, you're going to refer to vendor relations, or we have some tips online and guidelines and instructions online as well too. But our vendor relations team is extremely helpful. If you have any questions at all, they'll be happy to help. Okay, next slide. So this next button, I'm going over on the main landing page of the Doing Business with Us website. The one that you're seeing here in circled in red is our open solicitation tab. When you click that button, that will take you to our open solicitations, and through there you can search all open solicitations here at the county. And you can search by department, commodity code, keyword, or solicitation number. And I have a good example here, a screenshot on what that page looks like and how to navigate that page. And next page. Okay, so one of the contracting opportunities that I'm going to talk to you about a little bit later here in the presentation is our disaster and emergency services solicitation. Obviously, unfortunately, in the state that we are at, sadly, right now, with the recent fires, we are using this master agreement heavily right now. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that in a couple of slides, but I want to show you how to search for solicitations. So once you click that open solicitations tab, it's going to take you to this screen, and you're going to have a box where you can enter, or you can pull down from a pull down menu, the department information. So again, you can search by keyword, solicitation number, commodity, or also department. So if you wanted to just look at my solicitations at the Internal Services Department, there's a pull down menu and you can just select the Internal Services Department. If you wanted to search for Julie's solicitations at DPW, you could also search for their solicitations by selecting the Department of Public Works. So for this use case scenario, we are going to look at the disaster and emergency services solicitation. So to find this, all I did was enter the keyword disaster. Another example is computers or training. So just basic keyword searches like that will take you and open up all the solicitations that are available. So once you found this solicitation, you're going to click on the actual solicitation number that's highlighted in blue on the left-hand side. And then next page. Once you click on that blue link, which is the solicitation link, it's going to take you to the solicitation detail page. And the solicitation detail page will give you the solicitation number. It'll tell you what type of solicitation it is. For example, if it's for goods or services, it'll tell you the department that published the solicitation and released the solicitation. It'll tell you the commodity information. And what's really important here is the opened and closed date. So this particular solicitation we released back in 2017, and it is open and continuous. When you see continuous there under the closing field, that means that this solicitation is going to be open for an extended period of time throughout the master agreement term. Unlike a normal RFB or RFP that has an actual due date, these master agreements are more commonly open and continuous throughout the entire term, so several years, which is great because that gives you several years of opportunities to continuously apply and also add service categories to your agreement. And then finally, the last column on the far right is the contact information. All of our solicitations here at the county will have contact information, whether it's a buyer or a contract analyst. You'll have a name, you'll have a phone number, and you'll have an email address. So if you have any questions on the solicitation, that is who you contact. And then moving on to the bottom part of the screenshot here is the solicitation description. And then what's most important here are the attachments. The attachments at the very bottom here that you're seeing in blue, that's the actual solicitation. That's where you'll need to open up those zip files or open up the PDF, and that's how you will access the entire solicitation. And you'll follow the very specific instructions on the solicitation on how to submit your bid, how to submit your proposal, how to submit your statement of qualifications, and also look at the very important due dates for the submission or for questions or a conference, so on and so forth. So that's really where the posting is at the very bottom of when you see the attachments. So that is how to register to do business with the county, and also how to find solicitations and look for solicitations, and also open up the solicitation here at the county. And then I want to talk to you today about 2 different master agreement contracting opportunities that I have for you here at ISD. Both of the solicitations that I'm going to go over with you are open and continuous, which means you have years to compete for this business and to be awarded a master agreement. We also do not have caps on either one of these master agreements that I'm going to share with you. Caps meaning I don't have a limitation on dollar amount of spend, and I don't have a limitation on the number of vendors that can be awarded a master agreement. And again, it's open and continuous throughout the term. Also, why I like these master agreement programs, and I wanted to highlight these for you today, is because they're open countywide. So what that means is, even though I am managing these solicitations and managing the master agreements, all of our county departments can utilize and solicit and award services under these master agreements. So there's a lot of utilization here because all 38 different departments can use these solicitations and master agreement programs. So the first one, as I kind of already mentioned a little bit about, is our DESMA. This is our Disaster and Emergency Services Master Agreement Program. It is, again, open countywide, and these are the categories that I have under the DESMA. The ones that I wanted to highlight for you that are being heavily used right now because of the fires are debris removal, fire and life safety, relocation services, slope and watershed protection services, and then also duct cleaning services. Because of the fire and our recovery efforts, those again are being very heavily used. Services under here, basically what we do is once you submit your statement of qualification under the solicitation, if you meet the requirements, then you're awarded a master agreement and you're added to that specific service category. You as firms here can apply to one of these service categories that you're seeing in front of you, or you can try to apply to all of the service categories, or maybe just a couple that are applicable. So you have a lot of opportunity here and flexibility on what type of services you want to provide and you can provide to the county. So again, you can apply for one, some, or all of the service categories. 2 of the other service categories here that I wanted to point out to you are actually the new ones on the far right that we just added. I desperately need security services. I know this might not be in your lane for this particular group, but I only have 2 contractors, 2 countywide, to provide security services. And the other one that I wanted to highlight for you is our homeless encampment services. This is brand new. We just released this service category like a week ago. So it's brand new, and we don't have any qualified under this category yet. And the next slide, I want to talk to you about another master agreement contracting opportunity for you. This, again, is open countywide. It's open and continuous. This one actually expires in 2027. And this is definitely in your lane, I would think anyways. This master agreement program is our Facility Ancillary Services Master Agreement. Again, all 38 different departments can utilize the solicitation and the master agreement program and contract for services using the master agreement program. On the left, you're seeing our current categories, and on the right, I just added a ton of new service categories also. The ones I wanted to highlight for you, the one here that's really, really being used heavily right now is abatement and remediation, obviously because of the fires. And the other one that's being heavily used right now is our fire alarm repair and maintenance service category. So those two are being heavily used. Plumbing is always big. HVAC is always big as well. So there's a lot of utilization and a lot of procurements needed for those services. And then I want to also highlight the OSHA training, category number 13, and also the homeless encampment services as well. Both of those are brand new. And we just released, and I've only got a couple of qualified contractors under both of those as well. So a lot of new contracting opportunities, big spend under these master agreement programs, and a lot of flexibility again for you to apply to one, some, or all of these service categories. The minimum qualifications for both of these is 3 years of experience within the last 5 years in the category for which you're attempting to qualify. I do want to put the caveat on there that some of these service categories do have some additional requirements, such as licenses, certifications, or maybe some other documents that we're going to be requiring as well. But the general minimum qualification requirement is 3 years of experience within the last 5 in the specific category. Okay. And those are the 2 big master agreement programs that I wanted to highlight for you in regards to contracting opportunities today. In regards to bonding requirements, on the next page, I've got a long list of master agreement contracting opportunities. All of these that you're seeing here in front of you are also open and continuous, which means you can apply at any time. And the ones that have bonding requirements is our energy efficiency project master agreement and also our telecom services master agreement. So those, we do have bonding requirements built into those, and the other ones actually do not have any bonding requirements. So a little bit less stringent in regards to requirements on those. And don't feel like you have to take notes on any of these. I do have a flyer that I'll be emailing out to the Meriwether Williams, Christie, and her team. So you can have access to these. Again, if you are interested in applying, we'd love to have your submission. And then finally, I'm going to just close us out. I'd love to end with a couple of tips on how to do business here at the county and some best practices that I strongly recommend. The first one is responding to solicitations. Is when you're responding to solicitations, you want to always thoroughly review the solicitation. Make sure that you're reading the solicitation in its entirety. We really go by, we have very specific instructions in the solicitation on how to respond, right? The preparation of your bid, the preparation of your proposal, the order that your proposal must be in. And it's really important for you to read that solicitation in its entirety so that you know how to prepare your bid or how to prepare your proposal. It's also important to read the solicitation so that you know your deadlines. We will always put the deadlines when we do have them, and they're not open and continuous. We'll always include the deadlines for when your bid's due, when your proposal is due, the date for Q&A submission, the date when we're going to have site visits or job walks, so on and so forth. Also within the solicitation, of course, we have the buyer or contract analyst information, how to contact them via email, phone number, so on and so forth. And of course, information on our proposers conferences when they are offered. And I always recommend on that note, by the way, that you do attend those conferences, either the bidders conferences or proposers conferences, because we do offer a lot of additional information that's not included in the solicitation. But also it's an opportunity to meet the staff, hear more about the project initiatives, why it's important, what our goals of accomplishment is with the contracted services. And And it's, you know, a good opportunity to see and hear directly from the team on that particular solicitation. Number 3, ask questions. Always ask questions. Most solicitations here at the county, the majority of the ones that I do, I would say 98% of them, I do include the allowance of submissions of questions. So most of the county also does the same. We'll always allow you to submit questions, and we respond to every single question. So when we allow questions, definitely ask any that you do have. But on that note, you need to check the responses, because sometimes the Q&A process can change the solicitation requirements. When submitting the questions, also make sure to just specify, you know, the RFP section number, page number, and again, make sure that you're checking the release of the response as well. Number 4 is understanding the solicitation and the statement of work requirements. But more so, the end part of this is respond to each section very clearly and thoroughly. So we will have a proposal submission area in the RFP. And in there, we'll have very specific instructions. You need to respond to each one of those sections or you will be dinged. We will subtract points or not award the full maximum number of points in that section if you don't respond thoroughly. And make sure that you're responding clearly as well. And number 5 is read the contract. If we're always going to include a contract with the service solicitations anyways, so make sure that you understand those terms and conditions and what you're signing up for if you are awarded. So, you know, make sure that you are, again, just reading the solicitation in its entirety and following the process that we include in there. And then also, I just want to highlight, we've been doing here at ISD, we've been doing some RFIs, which are requests for information. That's a good way to also kind of anticipate our upcoming service needs and also future projects in a particular area that may be coming down the pipeline. So definitely visit our Doing Business With Us website, visit it frequently, and also check out RFIs that are released as well, because that's a good heads up that we're probably going to be releasing a solicitation for those services in the near future. And that, I believe, is, yeah, that's it on my end. And thank you guys so much. And I think we're going to open it up maybe for questions. I know I'm here if you guys need anything.
Thank you so much, Christy. You guys have so many open opportunities. It's very exciting. So in the interest of everyone's time, we do have... Okay, so we have a video from a CDAP contractor to share, and instead of showing that, we're just going to include it in the follow-up correspondence. And then I believe that we'll be doing the same with the Q&A. So if you do have questions for the presenters today, while I'm wrapping up, you can go ahead and put those in the chat, and then we'll get back to you with the responses in our follow-up correspondence. So I'll just skirt past that section and pull up the flyer for our next workshop. So if you have any questions, put those in the chat, and I'll just let you all know that our next workshop is on Wednesday, May 14th. And interestingly, it is with, because this is a regional program, it's also sponsored by the City of LA. It is with LA City Councilwoman Eunices Hernandez. So it's very exciting because at that workshop, we will have representatives from the city departments. So Port of LA, LAWA, LADWP, and LA City Public Works. So we hope that you can join that workshop as well to sort of complement and contrast this one and take advantage of those opportunities also. I believe that is it. Thank you all for joining us today. As I mentioned, we are going to send the follow-up correspondence with the full deck from today, as well as answers to any questions that you may have. So once again, thank you so much. And if you're not yet enrolled in the program, we hope that you do join us.